Morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session. I trust you and your families are all keeping well. We've certainly got a jam-packed session for you this morning. For those that don't know for those of you that don't know me, I'm Peter Fleming. I'm a director of BECBC, and I lead on the SME agenda and also co-lead the business support group. As Andrew mentioned, we've actually got quite a few guest organisations here joining us today. So I'll just mention the names of the businesses. There's PDI, Molotox, Mech Global, ISEC, Churton Engineering, Corey Consulting, Stork, PPS, Bitbloom, Legrand, Teslab, Petroca, HSL Consultants, MICC Group, Eastgate Engineering, and Precision Components. I hope I haven't missed any there, but welcome today. For those that are non-members and you wish to sort of hang on after the main presentations, like Andrew mentioned, there'll be an opportunity to network with our members and hear more about how we sort of support and look after each other, but also focus on nurturing collaboration. Key presentations this morning, we've got John Coughlan of TSP Engineering first, and John's going to share the importance of collaboration, some great news and potentially some great opportunities for our members as well. That'll be followed by Zoe Wallis of Winning Moves, who's going to share a little bit about Digital Tech Cumbria and how we can all engage in technology and IT to improve our businesses. There'll be a 3x3 presentation by Altogether Cumbria. Sarah McGregor's doing that, and I believe Diane has the egg timer back, so we look forward to Diane returning with her instruments. And then finally, we'll get an update from Vicky Ritson from Inspira on our BECBC BSCP project. Like I say, the main meeting will take about an hour, and then at 11:30, we should have 20 minutes or so for those that want to hang on, and there's a great opportunity to network. As Andrew mentioned as well, there'll be some polls throughout the session today, so please partake. And whilst I'm sure we all miss the physical contact and face-to-face networking, I'm sure we'll all be back to those fabulous sort of sponsored lunches at Energous in the spring. But in the meantime, if any of you wish to sort of contact any of the directors, maybe share some thoughts and ideas and how we can develop our member engagement further, please do so. So now I'll hand back to Andrew and enjoy today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. So our first speaker, as Peter said, is John Coughlan, and he's speaking from TSP Engineering. So John, when you're ready, I'm going to share the slides for John, and he will no doubt nudge me when I need to move through them. So over to you, John, when you're ready.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you virtually and to speak with you. I hope that everybody is staying safe, keeping their family safe, and above all, keeping their workforce safe. Collaboration, as we all know, is really what drives success in any business. There is no one individual or no individual company that can deliver on some of the projects that we all work on alone on our own, and we depend on the abilities, capabilities, and expertise of other companies to work alongside us to collaborate. And that's one of the things I really like about BECBC, is that we all get that opportunity to collaborate and work together. However, collaboration is not just about being in the same club and about working alongside one another. It's about understanding the needs and delivering those needs and being able to come up to the qualification level, and that's required to support the businesses that you run and the businesses like ourselves that depend on support and collaboration from other companies. So to do that, we work alongside Fit for Nuclear, Chamber of Commerce, and BEC, as you can see this morning, to help us support and help companies get themselves to the level that they need to be at to support, particularly the nuclear, the defence, and the oil and gas sectors. But we will work alongside companies to help you with our quality departments and our different functional departments to work with the companies that we collaborate with to help them get to the level that they need to be at, because we all have to go through those learning experiences to get to where we are, and we should never forget that. Collaboration has helped us to deliver for many of our customers or for all of our customers really in all of our sectors, where we've delivered not only large projects, but we've delivered them early and we've delivered them under budget. So we've got our customers on track or ahead of track. We've been able to save money for their budgets, which allows them to spend that in other areas of their business and spin more business out. So saving money for your customers is also extremely important. It's not all about making your profit today, but it's about making your profit in a collaborative way over a longer period of time, which is more important for businesses. We have at the moment a lot of projects on going across not just national but international areas. We've got EC&I projects which are supporting projects in Sweden. We've got oil and gas projects we're working on at the moment, which are going to Russia, and we've got nuclear decommissioning in the UK, and we've got a lot of other smaller steel projects in India and in other areas of the UK as well. So it's an exciting time for TSP Engineering, and TSP Engineering, I believe, have only got to the level and the position that we're in at the moment by being able to collaborate and being able to work alongside many of the companies that are here in the audience today, and companies like you. So there is huge opportunities for us all if we work together in a really collaborative way. So people are probably wondering, you know, what is it that they can actually help us with, or what can they work with us on? So across the £18 million that we have to spend going forward at the moment, we're looking for people who can provide services in pipework, small machine parts, because we do very large machining, but the smaller machining we need help and to work alongside other companies, light fabrications, consumables of all sorts across the business, from packaging to welding consumables. Quality testing services extremely important for us, which are not just done in our factory, but also we need companies who will go out to visit our sub-suppliers to inspect the materials sometimes before they come to us, and that's sometimes in the UK and sometimes external to the UK. Health and safety equipment, health and safety, like any business, is extremely important. So we need to make sure that we've got the best equipment and the best support from a health and safety perspective. Recycling waste management, particularly in today's green environment, we need to know that we're dealing with our waste and our waste has been handled in the most effective way to support the environment. So in a way, we're collaborating with companies to make sure that we've got a better world for our children and our workers' children in the future, which is extremely important. And then, of course, we need to have talent within our business. So we look for talent resource support, because without that, we would not be able to do all of the things that you know we want to do and grow our business. So, you know, apart from the services that I've just gone through in terms of employment opportunities, and this is something that I want to sort of share with everybody else, and it's something that I'm really keen that not only our business but people who are collaborate with us and we collaborate with have this message. You know, you've got to keep your employees safe, particularly at the moment with COVID, not just to keep your employees safe, but in a collaborative way. Our customers are depending on us delivering services, and we're depending on our collaborative partners to provide us with services. So it's extremely important that everybody understands the importance of keeping their workforce safe and communicating with their workforce so that they know the importance of staying safe to cement their jobs, secure jobs, and to be able to grow our business, particularly in these difficult times. And the other thing that I want, the message that I would like to get across in terms of collaboration, you know, we've got to collaborate with our employees. They're an extremely important part of everything we do. And at the moment, some businesses are going through difficult circumstances, but we always say that employees are our most valued asset. Well, this is one of the times that we can actually show that. It's very easy if we see a little slide in a certain area of the business, without looking to see where we can tweak our costs in other areas, to call redundancies and to lay people off. But I would say that this is a time that if we think that our employees are the most important assets we have, we should be looking to ensure that they are the most, and we protect those assets as much as possible. We invest in our machinery. So why not invest and make sure that we have our employees ready for when the upsurge comes after COVID. But I understand there's a cost to that as well, but we need to be realistic and not just discard them at the first opportunity. We are looking at the moment for a host of different types of people and different types of skills, which we're open in some cases to take in as services from other companies or to bring in direct employees. So we're looking for quality management, including quality engineers. We're looking for machinists, CNC machinists to run the large machines, assembly fitters, maintenance team leaders and personnel, electricians, procurement personnel, industrial engineers, and mechanical engineering designers. We're looking for those to add capability to our teams that we already have in existence. But we're also looking to bring people into those areas that we will train and help them grow their careers. You know, and one of the things when I talked about collaborating with your employees, in terms of TSP, we see that as a crucial role. So I would hope that, you know, the people that collaborate and the companies that collaborate with us see that also. You know, we're an award-winning business. You know, we understand work-life balance, which is extremely important, and work-life balance can shift at different times for different people, depending on their family circumstances. So we have to be able to look at how we can support people as they go through ups and downs in their family as well. Offer further internal opportunities. It's important that if you're investing in people and people are coming to your organization, that you give them the opportunity to be part of that organization and to really collaborate and to become an active member and give them the opportunity to grow. We see ourselves as a world leader. For instance, we were the first company last year to become certified to the new nuclear standard, ISO 19443, and we look to share those things with our collaborating partners and help them achieve those levels and get to those levels and be part of. They may not have the financial ability to be able to invest in it, but they can still be part of it through our organization if they're working with us. We're providing support and training and further education opportunities to the people who come and work for our business. It's extremely important to invest. As I said, we invest in machinery, but people very often balk at investing in the people they have in their business. It's as important and maybe more important to invest in those people to grow your business and to drive your business on. TSP wouldn't be where it is today without the employees that we have in our company, and the investment that we've made in those people is now paying off for them and for us. So far this year, we've achieved just under £50 million of orders, and that's a lot of those orders have been coming in during COVID, in the early parts of the COVID lockdown. So hence we need some additional hands, and we need to collaborate with more companies to deliver successfully and on time the projects that we have. And I think that every company basically would be in the same situation. So we all know that we have to deal with and work with other companies to allow us to achieve. So again, I'll just go back to what I said at the very beginning as I'm closing up. No company, no individual can deliver on their own. We depend on working together to get a bigger sum to be able to deliver what it is we need to deliver. And remembering we're trying to ensure that we do that on time or early for our clients, and also at the same point trying to save them some money. So it's important that we become effective and efficient as businesses when we're working together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Yes, there is one question. In fact, we've got a couple of questions. And just before we do go into questions, if anybody is new or they're slightly fearful of putting a question in the chat publicly, you can send it privately to me. Obviously, we're limited for time, but if you want to ask an anonymous question, just send it privately and I will ask that for you. But I'm going to come to Peter Fleming first, because you were first in line to ask a question. Peter.
Yeah, just John, great presentation, by the way, and sounds like a fantastic opportunity for businesses to engage and employees. But I just wondered, for those that may be on the session today, particularly SMEs, that may have some sort of solutions for the work packages you shared, what's a process to engage with TSP Engineering and find out more about the opportunities?
If it's a manufacturing service or a materials supply that you're looking to support us on, I would go through our procurement department. Melissa Edmondson or Scott Castlehowe are probably the two people to go through. Also, if it's human resources services or people services, it's probably best to go through Michelle Watson in our organization, and she'll help there. Any other services that's outside sort of manufacturing or human resources should probably go through Sue McCartan, who will take you through that, and we'll work with you. You know, we know that there's people coming into the industry all of the time on a first-time basis. So we will work if we think that you have the capability, the future to operate, to work with us. We will get our quality department engaged with you to help you understand what you need to do. Because I'll give you an example. I know I talked about fit for nuclear earlier on, but we've got companies all the time coming to us and saying, look, we're fit for nuclear, so we can do business with you. But a lot of companies don't understand what fit for nuclear means. And I'll give you an example. I had a phone call from a chairman of a company, it's over a year ago now, who said, do you realize you haven't paid us for 4 months? We're over 4 months overdue paying us. And I said, I don't think your organization is explaining to you what you're doing wrong. Can you come and see me? So he came and saw me, sat down, and he was irate on the other end of the desk. And I said to him, you've gone through fit for nuclear? And he said, yes. I said, so you understand what needs to be done in the nuclear industry? Of course, we've passed fit for nuclear. And I said, well, you realize you've got materials lying in our stores for 4 months. We can't use it because you didn't send in the certs. Here's all the emails that we've been sending your organization asking for the certs and the paperwork because we can't put it into the job. And until you provide those certs, the material hasn't been received by us because we can't use it. So people need to understand that it's not a case of, oh, I got an order and I've got to supply a piece of steel or I've got to supply a tool. If there's certificates and other paperwork that needs to go with that needs to go into the lifetime records to go to the customer, it's important that they understand it. And that's what we'll try and help you to understand, so that, you know, things are working smoothly within the nuclear business in particular.
Yeah, that's great, John. Yeah, so would it be okay for BECBC to possibly share those contacts at TSP Engineering? Probably.
Yes. Yes.
So Hazel will capture that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure the people won't thank me for it, but yeah.
And I do agree. Yes, about following the process. I don't know if you plan any sort of supplier engagement workshops.
It's not something we've done on a wide basis. I know that Scott has been talking about doing it in the near future. So yes, we are looking at it at the moment, but we've been dealing with it on a one-to-one basis with individual companies up to now.
Right. Thank you, and I'll pass back to Andrew. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, John. So we have got a few more questions. Steve Hughes, if you want to unmute your mic and then you can put that question to John.
Oh, hi, John. Yeah, my question was around on your slide when you were talking about packages of work that you're interested in, light fabrications. Are you concentrating on carbon steel, or is it a mixture of carbon steel or stainless steel?
It's a mixture of carbon and stainless.
Okay, thank you. That's my question answered. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Deborah, it's probably a very quick question, so I'll put that to you, John. Do you have any need of PMO, project management, costing or estimating engineers to collaborate on any of your projects?
No, because there are definitely services that we deal with in-house, particularly because there is a lot of sensitivity in terms around commercial information and commercial activity. So we tend to keep those in-house.
All right, thank you. Brad, Brad Meyer, if you want to just unmute your mic.
Well, thank you for that. What I'm wondering about is how you have, or if you have, identified soft skills that are not engineering specific that you have found very useful to help not just your own staff in-house, but all of the people in the SMEs that you're collaborating with? It's easy to go off into engineering process, but I'm wondering about human process.
No, definitely. We've brought people in the past to help us work on those soft skills in terms of the values that we have within the business, and ensuring that values aren't seen as something that are just driven down from the top of the business. They've got to, again, be part of a collaborative process across the business, and that takes the behaviors that grow the culture, and looking at the culture that we have within our business, and ensuring that we've got a right level of culture that it links into the underlying reason to why people work and why people want to work in our business, and also what our customers are looking for. So yes, we do and have brought people in to look at the soft skills. It's extreme. When I was talking about investing in your people and investing, a lot of that is in the soft skills. It's not just in engineering.
Okay, thank you. And there is one final question, actually, which is coming from Shirley Swan. If you want to open your mic, you can put that question to John.
Hi, John. I work for Portakab, and I just wondered, with the growth in your company, is there any need for additional temporary or permanent space, such as offices, canteens, welfare, that kind of thing?
At the moment, there isn't, but we are working on some projects which involve new nuclear technology. And some of those may or may not come off by the early part of next year. If that happened, then potentially there may well be a requirement.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you both. Right, I think that is officially the end of the questions. I hope I haven't missed any more. I can't see any others in the chat. So we're going to move on to Digital Tech Cumbria with Zoe Wallis from Winning Moves. I'm also going to be sharing slides for you, Zoe. So as and when you're ready, feel free to open your mic, and it's over to you. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Morning, everybody. Thank you for the introductions, Peter and Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, as well, for being my lovely assistant with my slides. I really appreciate it. So Digital Tech Cumbria is about helping businesses understand and use applications and technology so they can be more productive, more efficient, and more profitable. Because it's proven that where businesses do effectively adopt the right technologies, they're both 20% more profitable and 30% more efficient. What we've seen lately with the COVID situation and the response to COVID is it's impacted on every business in every sector. And whilst there have been some winners, most businesses have undoubtedly found it a challenge, particularly SME organisations. So we've seen situations where supply chains have disappeared overnight. We've seen customer bases shrink, revenue streams disappear whilst costs have remained fixed. Staff numbers have reduced originally to try and support mandated and sadly necessary business closures in some instances, and then subsequently as we've tried to reopen up to facilitate social distancing. Where we could, we've been told to work from home, and we're still being told to work from home where we can. And what that's meant is a lot of businesses have had to do a mad scramble to suddenly be able to facilitate remote working en masse, let alone then understand how to effectively manage that team. And on top of it, give flexible working practices and hours on the basis that people were at home with all of their families. There were teaching requirements, childcare requirements in place. So COVID is a health concern, but it's also an economic crisis. And what the unprecedentedness of it, what the shock of it has done is forced us all as business owners to actually sit back and realise and understand the importance of technology for our future business success, because it's technology that enables us to diversify our business models and our business practices quickly and effectively. And it's technology that means we can safeguard our revenue streams, our business operations, get in front of customers more quickly, more effectively, more cheaply than we would otherwise have been able to, still communicate with our customers. And also technology that gives us that opportunity to operate on a vastly greater geographic scale than we would normally have been able to. So technology matters because it means we can still deliver, but not just deliver, we can deliver very effectively, and we can be more efficient, we can be more productive, we can be more profitable. And that's why Digital Tech Cumbria is important for you guys as well, because we're here to help you identify what technology is appropriate for you so you can continue to drive your businesses forward. So I'd like to give you some examples. This isn't everything, but just some examples of specific projects that we may be able to support with. So if I asked you who your customers are, you'd mostly be able to tell me, and you'd definitely be able to tell me broadly where they live, how often they buy from you, what they look like. But how much data do you actually have so that you understand their buying behaviours, the marketing messages they're responding to? Are you able to give customers that personalised service that they're so demanding of these days? And do you understand why your customers pick you over a competitor? All businesses have data, but there's only 12% of businesses that actually bother to do anything with it, bother to look at that data. And the fact is, if you're not analysing your data, you're missing a trick. So we can offer support to look at how you're capturing data, what information you're actually capturing in the first place, how you're analysing it, and how you're using that to drive your marketing messages so you can find and keep your customers. And whether that be implementation of a simple CRM system, whether it be development of a detailed digital marketing strategy, or even anything all the way through to scoping out a bespoke application, we can provide support under the project for that purpose. More and more of our customer base is online. And unlike our offline shoppers, 55% of people that go online will make a purchase within 1 hour of beginning to browse. Now that number significantly increases where people are on a mobile device to 93%. So it's critical that we're maxing out our online sales channels and online sales opportunities as much as we possibly can. Then you've also got your efficiency angle in terms of sales. So most sales processes, any sales process, there's repetition of regular administrative tasks, whether that be booking in appointments, following up after meetings, following up with quotes, updating sales pipelines. All of those processes can be automated. And when you automate your administrative processes, you free up to 71% of your sales team's time. Now, just imagine what difference that could make for your business. It's significant. So we've talked about the fact that all businesses do have data, and to a greater or lesser degree. And it's estimated that 1 in 5 businesses have been the subject of some form of data breach. Now, that could be human error, somebody leaving their computer unlocked, something's on the screen that other people shouldn't see, or it could be a targeted technological attack. And it's estimated that those data breaches amount to £4.5 billion per annum. Whenever our customers and whenever our staff give us their data, they are placing us in a position of trust, and that trust engenders loyalty in our brand. So if we want to retain our customers and we want to retain our team, and we don't want to be part of the £4.5 billion pie for people that have suffered a data breach, we need to make sure we've got sufficient operational processes in place to keep our data secure. We can provide support to look at how you're doing that and what is appropriate technically to keep the data secure. We can also provide support if it's of value to your business to acquire cybersecurity accreditation as well. What we've demonstrated over these last few months is that many of us have been able to work from home. Our lives have become centred around a laptop and a mobile phone. But what we've actually demonstrated is that we can work from anywhere as long as we've got an internet connection. Our business operations don't need to suffer because we are not physically on site and on the premises. We can take that extended holiday and mix in a bit of work and pleasure and get a better work-life balance. We can take advantage of the new Barbados welcome visa if we're in a position to, and go and spend 12 months in the sunshine. The fact that you're able to also work from any location as well also means that you're also to be more flexible with your business practices. We've had to provide flexibility to our staff in terms of the timings that they're able to give because of the childcare requirements. But what that means is we can shun the 9 till 5 traditional business model, and we can actually be more accommodating of our customers. So we can offer different hours of customer service. And at the same time, the fact that we can work from anywhere and the fact that we've now got social distancing requirements must beg the question of, do we need the volume of office space that we've previously been used to? Now, I'm not condoning the abolition of a physical office in totality, because there are definite benefits to that, not to mention psychological benefits for your employees of having the opportunity to come together and bounce ideas off each other, and equally just see another person, which is quite exciting these days. But we must beg the question of, do we need the same amount of seats as previously? It's an overhead, it's a cost for us, and we can use technology to actually lower that cost by having a smaller space and a rota system, or indeed cross-sharing office space with other organisations with a similar mindset, so that we're able to spread those costs and maximise our income and profitability as much as possible. And when we've demonstrated that your business can work more flexibly, it operates different hours outside of traditional 9 till 5, and we can work from anywhere. It opens up your talent pool significantly. You're no longer constrained by the appetite for a 30 to 45 minute commute into the office. You are able to recruit on a wider geographic scale to suit your business needs, and that means you can tap into the best and the brightest from potentially all across the globe. So, Digital Tech Cumbria, what is it in a nutshell? So it's an ERDF funded project, which means there are eligibility criteria around it, but we can work with you to move through that process. It's worth £5,000 per SME business that's supported. And I gave some examples there of a range of projects and things we can be thinking about, but there's more, and it's very much tailored to the needs of the individual business. And the way we do that is there's scope for 180 businesses to have specialist one-to-one consultancy through technical experts who will look at your business models, look at the way you're operating, and identify the right applications, the right technologies, so that you can benefit from those efficiency savings and that profitability. Alongside that, there's also a number of other activities that are taking place, one of which is a digital skills academy. So that will be an online learning skills academy, not just for business leaders, business owners, but for the wider business as well. So you can actually really upskill your team in terms of their business knowledge and capabilities. And then secondly, we've got something listed there called a Tech Expo. Now, this is something that we're developing in conjunction with BECBC. It's intended to be a large-scale event that will take place next year that will cover a number of different things. So there'll be seminars and workshops taking place to make you aware of new and emerging technologies that may be relevant for your businesses. There'll also be presentations from businesses that have adopted certain technologies so that you can have the benefit of peer learning and see how that also might apply for yourselves. And if we're able to be more hands-on at that point, which we hope we are, we'd like to give the opportunity to actually have a play with different technologies with some of the leading providers from the industry. So final point from myself, then I'll open up for questions. Contact details are on here in terms of the programme, and also getting in touch with myself directly. There's a QR code that you can see on this slide. Now, you can either take a scan of it from your screen now, which will take you to a survey, or indeed Hazel's going to be sharing the details subsequent to this meeting along with all the slides. And the point of that survey is it's a joint one between ourselves and BECBC to actually gather information from you guys as members so that we are able to tailor both the content of the Digital Skills Academy, but also that Tech Expo to meet your business needs. So I'd be really grateful if you could give us 10 minutes of your time just to get that completed. And that's me in a nutshell. So just open up for any questions if there are any, please.
Thank you, Zoe. Yes, we do have a couple of quick questions. First in line was Diane Richardson from the cluster. Diane, do you want to ask that question?
Thanks, Andrew. Zoe, great presentation. I just wanted to check, with it being ERDF funding, is it specific to certain sectors and some sectors can't apply, or is it all SMEs?
There are some sectors that can't apply, sadly, because of those ERDF criteria. It's really hard for me to kind of give a defined list because it's so woolly. So what I would say is if anybody's interested, get in touch with us, because there's some relaxation around the ERDF rules at the moment as well because of COVID. So there may be opportunities now to access support that won't necessarily be available in a few months' time.
Okay, and then Craig Fox, by way of follow-on, says, how long will the ERDF funding be available? I presume That's with a looming deadline, which seems to have not quite been forgotten about, but certainly pushed down the list at the moment.
Yes, so this project is running until 2022, but obviously it's limited in terms of numbers that we can support. So whilst the project will still be running and whilst support will still be taking place, it's those first 180 that are eligible that we'll be able to access.
Okay, hopefully that answers that question, Craig. We have no further questions actually there, Zoe.
Okay.
So thank you for that presentation. There are still no other questions that have popped up in the chat. So I think that covers everything, Zoe, for now. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you all.
So Sarah McGregor will be speaking for us from Altogether Cumbria in just a moment. And Diane, I think it's you with the egg timer again today. Sarah, you're going to be sharing your own slides for this presentation. So over to you when you're ready, and you better wait then for Diane to count you in.
I'm sorry that I'm back in charge, Sarah. What can I say? If you'd been last week, you'd have had Hazel, but you did a fabulous job. Are you all ready to go? Ready for your countdown?
Nick, just waiting to pull my slides up. They're a little bit slow. Can you see them okay?
Now, for anybody who's a guest, I'm a little bit famous when it comes to the egg timer and the 3x3s. So Sarah will get cut off dot on the 3 minutes. But
Nick,
I'm sure she'll do a good job.
We'll give it a good try. Can you see my slides okay?
Yeah, we can. They're looking good.
Excellent. I'm ready when you are then, Diane. You give me the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name's Sarah McGregor, and I'm the manager at Altogether Cumbria. So what we're actually a social enterprise, and what we do is we invest in providing the people of Cumbria with opportunity and access to employment. So what we do is we work to attract, develop and retain a talented workforce so that ultimately we can work towards creating a thriving communities in Cumbria. So that's really important to all we do. What we do is we work in collaboration and in partnership, and that's with both the community and industry. So then ultimately we work towards developing a more sustainable workforce for the future. So we have a bunch of key objectives that we work towards, and everything we do is in focus of these. So we support the development of a trained and capable workforce. We look to retain local skills and talents, and that's really important to us. We also provide access to employment opportunities for everyone, and that's particularly important that no one gets left behind. And then it's about supporting local businesses so that they can resource robustly as well. So the how it works, it's relatively straightforward. We've got our industry skills brokerage, and what that does is it works with the community and industry to basically understand and determine the current and future skills requirements. And then that informs how we work, who we work with, and importantly, how we invest in the future as well. We support local community as well, and we do that through our career journey mapping. So what we do is we provide individuals with tailored support and signposting, and that's to local provision providers. So we work with the experts with career planning, work readiness, employability skills, all of those wonderful things, to work with them to help individuals become work ready. Then when they're work ready, we refer them over to our own recruitment brokerage. So it ties in really nicely. And that's about enabling direct access to real local jobs, an emphasis on real local jobs. It's matching the right people to the right job at the right time. So if you're someone who's at the beginning of your career journey with no previous experience, through to the next managing director or whatever you may want to be, we can work with you and we can help you. So loads of benefits of working with us. Ultimately, you get to maximise on social value and really make visible social change in Cumbria. And that's at the heart of this. No one voice as well is louder than any other. So everybody's got that opportunity to make a difference. And again, I like to press on that. It's all of us in partnership. Together, we provide a pipeline of skilled and competent people to support your work programmes. You get direct access to local talented candidates via our recruitment brokerage. And just incidentally there, every person that you place into employment for our brokerage generates a retrospective rebate payment from our agency partners' profit margin. So you're giving back again. It supports the government social value criteria needed for your bids and tenders. So that's really important to you guys. And you'll receive regular reports from us demonstrating that added contribution that you've made to the community. And it's about greater value through every pound spent. I'm just going to leave you with that comment on the end there, because I think that's really important. And I'll stop.
Thank you, Sarah. So, Diane, you haven't had the opportunity to cut her off?
Do you know what? I pressed my mute button and it didn't unmute. So you were obviously meant to finish that off, Sarah. You didn't do too badly. 3:10.
3:10. Oh, that's not bad because I was timing it and I had 3:04. So brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Our next slot is on the Schools Collaboration Project, which is an initiative within the cluster. And Vicky Ritson from Inspira is going to give us a quick 5-minute update on that.
Thanks, Andrew. Morning, everybody. So yeah, this is the regular update from the Business and Schools Collaboration Project. I think sometimes it's good to remind people why we run the project. So that's what this first slide is about. And I was looking at a report recently in terms of the number of young people who are currently NEET in the UK. And by that we mean not in education, employment or training. And as you can see, the figures are quite big. There's a lot of people who aren't engaging in those younger age groups. Here at Inspira, we are tasked with tracking young people who are NEET, particularly post-16 and post-18. So this is a subject close to our heart. And what we do know and what research tells us is that there are things that we can do to impact those NEET figures to stop or to help stop young people becoming NEET. And some of these things involve providing good support networks. Not everyone has a network like we enjoy at the business cluster, especially young people, and having positive role models to share information, to look up to emulate, really, which again might not be found in the family, and we can provide in terms of the employer encounters that we provide in schools. So it's just really a timely reminder to say, please think about these things. If you can help, there are things we can be doing in schools that can support and can reach these young people before they get to this particular stage. There's not much from me today, as I say, it's just a brief reminder, and also to say that I am still looking for virtual mock interviewers on November 9th, 10th and 26th, but particularly 9th and 10th. We have a large cohort of Year 11 students looking to have a mock interview on those days, and we're also taking those little career shorts that I've mentioned before, no more than 5 minutes, can be videoed at your desk or at home, again to share with students and to show them sort of people that are out there that they could aspire to be. If you're not sure how you can help, we still have the workshop going on, that's next week, so a week today for that workshop with myself and Diane, and I'm sure there's still places available. Hazel will be able to book you on to that one. Any queries, you know where I am. I'm sure you know my face by now. Please do get in touch if you feel you can help in any way, and I'll sort that all out for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. There are one or two people who've shared their contact details in the chat, so do make a point of having a look at the chat. There's one or two people put LinkedIn profiles and things like that. So if you are wanting to follow up with people after the meeting, that is an opportunity to drop a link in there or see who else might have shared a link. Details of the speakers will of course be available on the website after today's event, in fact, if they're not already there. So you'll be able to follow up by going across to becbusinesscluster.co.uk, and where we've got permission, copies of slides will also be shared on there as well and be available for download. So that is pretty much the end of the formal part of today's session. I'm going to hand back to Peter Fleming quickly. Don't forget, there is networking opportunities that are still in front of us. And what I'm going to do before I go to Peter is just put a slide on screen to ask for your wider feedback. I know we've asked for a lot of feedback, so we do appreciate you giving your opinions. But if you could just let us know what your view of the meeting as a whole, rather than the individual speakers, and the relevance of those presentation topics, that would be very much appreciated. So those details are on screen now. So Peter will just do a quick summary and wrap up, and then from there we'll be using the Zoom breakout rooms feature, and we'll go into a period of networking for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and obviously in that time will be smaller groups, and you'll be able to have conversations and get to know people, obviously introduce yourselves, as we've said. So if you could leave your feedback on screen, that would be very much appreciated, or at least through the app that is on screen, and use the code 1564668 at menti.com. I'll leave that up while I hand across to Peter just to summarize what we've heard from our speakers today.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to our speakers this morning as well. Great to hear from John Coughlan in respect to the opportunities at TSP, and we'll capture the sort of contact details and certainly share them with all the members and guests after the meeting. Great to hear about the project, Digital Tech Cumbria, and I picked up from Zoe during the meeting that the support is available for Cumbria-based SMEs. That's whether you are a registered address in Cumbria or have a base in Cumbria. Great to hear about the initiative from All Together Cumbria, and Vicky, I'll be registering to do some mentoring online, so I'll send you an email later today. Like Andrew said, those that you want to stay, we set opportunity to sort of network. Certainly from my own perspective, that's one of the big things I miss from the sort of physical meetings. So please stay on for the networking session, particularly non-members, chance to sort of speak to some of the members and hear about how we can sort of support and help each other. And apart from that, trust everybody has a great week, and we'll look forward to see you at the next session.